Hey guys, it's Josh with TJ back here again, and I'm going to be showing you in this video how to install these 100cc big bore kits on these 4-stroke 50cc scooters. So it's a pretty simple job, and I'm going to be showing you guys step through step on how to do basically everything to get this 100cc back in this little 50cc. Is going to increase the power by a lot, and it's definitely a worthwhile upgrade for these little 50cc's. Hey guys, let's get into it. These are going to be the basic tools you're going to need. Just a basic ratchet set with a Phillips 8mm, 10mm, and I think that's basically the only thing you're going to need for these. First things first, you're going to want to remove the 4 seat screws to remove the seat. Next, remove the screws that are holding this front body panel together. Next step is going to be removing the coil right here and removing the 2 exhaust screws. Next, make sure to remove the 2 exhaust screws. Take off the exhaust and put it with the other parts. Next part is to take off the intake, which are these 2 screws. Put the carburetor and the intake aside so you can leave some free space around here. Now it's time to remove this plastic casing. I'm pretty sure there's only 3 or 4 screws to unscrew. One of them being right there. Next, remove the cover and put it aside with all the other parts. Make sure to take the bottom piece out as well. Next step is to loosen up these screws, these 4 screws holding this top piece together, and make sure to have some towels ready to catch a little bit of the oil, just in case, because it might get a little bit messy. But yeah. Alright, next step is going to be, after we get the head off, the next step is going to be making sure that the engine is on time. So to make sure the engine is on time, there are these 3 little points. So from here, from the little stator right there, you're going to want to take it and twist it until those holes align. So you see how the top one is all the way at the top, and then this small little hole is on the side, and then this one is right there, connected with the block, in line with the block, these 2 side ones, and then the top one is all the way on the top. Next, after you set the bike on time, you're going to want to remove these 4 screws. Alright, now that we got the 4 nuts and 4 washers off, we're going to want to take these 2 pieces off. Next, you're going to want to loosen this little bolt on the chain tensioner, and then take these 2 side bolts with the chain tensioner. Next, make sure to move the little camshaft right here without adjusting this little. Next, you're going to want to remove these 2 screws to take off the head. Now it's time to take off the cylinder after we remove those 2 little screws. Alright guys, there was some clearance issues with the head, so basically every time I went like this, it would hit the frame. So I basically had to take the whole engine off. This is not going to be in most case scenarios on your bike. You're probably not going to have to do this. That's why I made the normal tutorial. But basically you just have to unplug a couple wires, take off the motor mount, and then take off the suspension mount, and then that's basically it. So from here on is what you're gonna have to do on like a normal, what you're gonna have to do on a normal thing, like a normal bike. Alright guys, now that we got the head off, I just took the head off and the piston. The piston, they have these little clips. So once you take the head off, you just take these little clips and then you slide out the little slider that it has, and slider should be around here somewhere, but it has like a little slider in the piston, and you just pull that out a little bit and then just yank it out. After you take the head off, you have to clean all the gaskets, all the gasket residue down here. You have to scrape that off so it can has like a little bit better compression and stuff like that. So I just did that. So now I'm gonna install it back. The little piston, I'm gonna install it back by taking the little clip off, sliding this little thing out, put it in the piston, then slide it back, put the little clip back. You only have to take one clip out. Make sure where it says IN is facing towards the intake. So IN faces up like towards that way. So that's basically it, and let's get to installing this. Alright guys, we got the piston all in there, and then we got this gasket on here. The paper gasket is the one that goes first. Make sure you guys get the chain and this little top tensioner. You can keep the bottom tensioner out for the moment until we get the cylinder in. But next we're gonna put the little cylinder on, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, once you got the cylinder on, you put this black metal gasket that it came with, put the chain through, and also put the bottom chain tensioner right here. The short side goes on this side and the long side goes towards the engine. But we're done with that right now, and we're gonna put on the head. So let's get to that. Alright guys, we got the head on just like that. Next we're gonna install the cam and the rockers. When you install the rockers, make sure the EX goes to the exhaust. So pointing this way is how it should be installed, like that. And make sure the cam is how it was in the beginning, where the two little circles match with the block, and then the top went like all the way up at 90-degree angle. So make sure it's like that, and let's get to installing it. Alright guys, we got the head on there and everything. We didn't have to set any valve lash, so that's pretty good. So now I'm going to show you guys how to install this little chain tension. Alright guys, we just got the chain tensioner on. So next we're going to just put the head on and put the rest of these 4 screws and these 2 screws down here. So let's get into that. Alright guys, we just got the engine on the bike. After we installed everything, we basically put the plastics on with all the screws, and then tossed on the intake with all the carburetor stuff on there. Next we're just gonna put the exhaust, and then put the coil back on the spark plug, and we're just gonna see how everything works. Don't forget to put these ones back. These are the ground. Just don't forget to tie these ones to this little screw, and we're gonna try and start her up after that. Alright guys, we got all the seats and like some of the plastics back on. Just need that front little plastic. Just took this thing for a test ride. She's running great.